Hey guys, welcome to Collider Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is Perri Nemiroff.
Damn it. It's his fault. Welcome to Wednesday Movie Talk. Yeah, clearly it's going to be a little off the rails today. I'm blaming all these guys around me. So happy to be here, though. Ashley, who's joining me?
Also, oh my gosh. Wow. He just wants to be introduced. He has energy like I've never seen before, so I have to introduce Kristian Harloff before he starts making more noise off camera.
Hey, guys.
Oh my gosh.
You're like a kid
waving
his hand.
Also making noise now is Jon Schnepp.
Hey, it's Wacky Wednesday, kids. Who am I? I'm the Lone Ranger.
Also, here's Jeremy Jahns.
That was the greatest Army Hammer impersonation I've ever seen in my life. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday.
Yes. Oh, boy. Yeah. This is going to be a show today. Ashley, what's our first story?
A new TV spot and poster has been released for Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant. The poster features Katherine Waterson's character being hunted by one of the alien creatures, setting the stage for an epic return of everyone's favorite xenomorph. But for fans wondering about how Covenant connects to the previous movie in the franchise with Prometheus, the new TV spot offers that connection, finally teasing fans as to what might have happened to Noomi Rapace's Dr. Shaw. Alien Covenant also stars Michael Fassbender, Danny McBride, and Billy Crudup, and hits theaters on May 19th. Perri, what'd you think of the new poster and TV spot for Alien Covenant?
I like just about every single thing that I've seen from Alien Covenant, but that's coming from a huge Alien fan that at this point I'm just like, give me everything. But then in the back of my mind, I know, this could potentially affect how I feel about the final feature. Not so much the tease of Noomi Rapace's character. I think that's what we kind of needed, especially for people who don't necessarily know how Covenant is going to compare, how it's going to connect to the original Alien movies and how it's going to connect to Prometheus. That was an appropriate thing. The one thing that's bothering me is the gigantic alien just chilling on the top of the ship. That is not what I want to see right now. I kind of like it lurking in the shadows and just that tease of like the dark viciousness that's going to come our way. I don't necessarily need to see that at this point, but still, I'm a big Alien fan. You give me something, it's going to make me look forward to this movie more and more. Schnepp, what do you think?
I like this poster, but I like the poster that they released like 2 weeks ago way better. The weird kind of like super arty, like millions of aliens and body parts and everything. So this poster is, it's fine. It reminds me of, it really reminds me of Aliens and Alien combined. Like that's Ripley, and it's too much of like an homage to the original Alien, which I don't necessarily need. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Everything I see from all the trailers, including this one, little clips of Shaw, is great. I just want to see the movie now, so I'm glad that these clips are so short. I just try to watch them and forget them. That's what I do now.
What do you think, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Poster and TV spot, like them?
I like the poster actually. Forgive me, reminds me of Alien 3, which it was a cool part of Alien 3 when that alien's mouth is coming at her face. It's like the iconic shot of Alien 3. Not that Alien 3 is any prize, but that part's really cool. I like the poster. I've liked the marketing campaign thus far because it's shown you that, hey, it is an Alien movie. I personally, I agree with you that I would have liked to have waited to see the alien on the thing bashing his head against the glass like he's the guy on the intro of Cops, like trying to smash the window with his head to get out, if you guys remember Cops, one of the greatest shows of all time. But I like the TV spot. Anytime you can have like oldies music playing in some form of horror, it always makes it worse.
It's crazy how that technique is still so effective. Like I know really eventually the song's going to warp and it's going to get creepy, but I still like it.
Yeah, it's been a good campaign so far, and I'm glad to see a new Alien movie.
Do you approve?
Well, to quote my elegant grandfather, I love this shit, you cynical farts. It is amazing. I really loved everything about this. I thought that I love seeing the alien at the end. I think the fact that it's such a different marketing push from what Prometheus was. It's like, no. Last time you weren't really sure what was. This is straight up. This is not the only time you're going to see the alien. This is one particular time to let you know you're going to see a lot of it. I thought it was great. I love the poster. I do agree with Jeremy, though, for sure. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, they bring back Winona Ryder? It's like, oh, wait a minute. And then I know it was the fourth one, but still. And then, it also reminded me very much of the original Alien, and I got that Ripley feel. So this is great. I loved everything that I'm seeing so far, from the short spots and the trailer.
The poster is a nice step forward, too, because all the other ones were more teaser posters, and this is something that's going to be a banner, and it's going to be hanging in the theater, and it's going to catch your eyes. So I'd say so far so good. Ashley, what's our next story?
According to Variety, Colin Farrell is in negotiations to join Viola Davis in Steve McQueen's heist thriller entitled Widows. Based on the 1983 British miniseries, the story follows 4 armed robbers who are killed in a failed heist attempt, leaving their widows to finish the job. Liam Neeson, Michelle Rodriguez, Get Out star Daniel Kaluuya, and Moonlight's Andre Holland are also on board, with Gone Girl screenwriter and novelist Gillian Flynn writing the script with McQueen. No release date has been set at this time. Kristian, thoughts on Colin Farrell and Viola Davis teaming up for Steve McQueen's Widows?
Come on, how do you not? I wish it was a buy, because it's the easiest buy of all time. I mean, this is a tremendous pairing from the director to two of the best talents we have today. Like I say, every single time a Colin Farrell story is brought up, one of the more underrated guys. People see him and they see movie star. He is a talented actor. Everything that he's in, a lot of times, Colin Farrell was the best part of that movie. Even though the movie wasn't good, Colin Farrell was great in it. From smaller things that he's done, whether it's something independent like The Lobster, or even the shitty season of True Detective 2, he was the best part of that. So pairing him up, there's no words for Viola Davis. I mean, everything that she's doing. I mean, there's a reason why she just won the Oscar. She's incredible. So pairing them up with Steve McQueen, yeah, I'm on board for it.
This is easily one of the most promising packages coming together out there right now. And it's about time we see something new from Steve McQueen. So I'm eager to see that. And also this sounds like a really different thing for him that could wind up, because obviously he's most well known for 12 Years a Slave at this point, and that was a much praised movie. This, however, seems like it's kind of going to get beyond just awards accolades, and it's going to get out to the mainstream, especially with this kind of cast. I mean, this cast is absolutely nuts. Yes, I agree with Colin Farrell, and more people should have seen The Lobster, but I don't think I can recall a single flat-out bad Colin Farrell performance where I'm like, that is your fault. You didn't. It's like most of the time the movie just doesn't meet his level of work, but Viola Davis, I can't wait to see her in just about anything at this point. And this cast is insane. I'm really excited to see Daniel Kaluuya in something else too, because, right now he's the guy from Get Out, and he's gonna hit that point where he needs to get beyond that. And this kind of thing, it sounds like that's gonna do it for him. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, every time, and this will go on forever, every time I hear Steve McQueen's doing a movie, I get slightly confused because I'm like, how old is that guy?
The Tarkin, they're doing a Tarkin.
Right. And then I'm like, oh, right, no, different Steve McQueen. But I'm completely agreeing with everything you guys say. Colin Farrell is awesome. He's great. I mean, give him a lot of screen time, give him very little screen time. Anytime he's had just a pinch of screen time, he totally steals the movie. Look at the Saving Mr. Banks. Not that he was the only great thing in the movie, but he was great in that movie. And that was what really made me step back and go, oh, okay, so Colin Farrell's having a comeback. Colin Farrell's comeback is done. Colin Farrell has come back. Viola Davis is one of the best actresses working in the biz right now. And so you add the director, them, everything together. You have a whirlpool that I am completely... I'm on board for seeing. I'm with Kristian. It's like if this was buy or sell. Can I just say buy thematically? Just like, I buy it.
We're changing the rules today,
Yes,
guys.
right.
All right, well, I'm going to buy it too then. Schnepp, do you buy it?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to buy it. Yeah, of course I buy it. We're all mentioning Colin Farrell, movies that no one's seen. In Bruges, get on that.
Yes,
get on
yes,
that
yes,
tip.
yes,
What
yes.
a fun film. Yeah, you know what I like most about this is that if you took away some of the talent, you took away Steve McQueen's name specifically, it would just sound like a genre picture. It would just sound like, this could just be like a Friday night ABC, Friday night thriller that might be on in the 70s or something. It's like, a heist gone wrong. Now they got to pick up the pieces. But then you throw this talent in there and you throw Steve McQueen's direction and writing in there. It's like, it's going to be something a lot different. And I know it's adapted from a BBC series. So now I'm actually interested in going back and seeing that series.
It is interesting, though, because the first thing that came to my mind when I read this story is how, we've got to have the lady version of Ocean's 11, whereas this to me feels like a very natural way to have a cast of leading ladies, and I'm really looking forward to that. I need to go back and check out that 1983 miniseries.
That's what I'm saying. And this feels like
so curious.
It's more about revenge and finishing the job and less about let the ladies do it. It's more like they're going to take on what their husbands were trying to do, like finish the job. I like the idea of it.
Yeah, sounds unique. Like it has lots of potential. All right, now for the real time to buy and sell stories. Ashley, what's our first buy or sell for today?
According to THR, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg will write and direct and produce a movie adaptation of the Image comic series Invincible by The Walking Dead's Robert Kirkman. The comic, which has been published since 2003, is Kirkman's second longest running title after Walking Dead and follows Mark Grayson, a normal high school student whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. The project now enters active development with a release date yet to be determined. Schnepp buy or sell Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg heading up Invincible for Universal.
This is a big buy for me. I've been waiting for someone to take this property and turn it into a movie or TV series for years now. I mean, it's on issue 133 right now. It's been around. It's collected in different paperbacks. You can get an amazing omnibus hardcover of all the first, I think it's first 24 issues. It's an incredible series. It's surprisingly violent, surprisingly emotional. There's a father-son storyline that travels through. It gets intergalactic when the last, I mean, it goes crazy style, then comes back. I think having Rogen and Goldberg dealing with this, especially after the success of dealing with Preacher, I absolutely love the adaptation of Preacher. It's totally unlike the comic, yet captures the comic perfectly. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this, especially in a big budget movie form.
Kristian, you into this?
Yeah, I am. I think that for the same reasons the Schnepp is buying it. I think that to see what they're going to do with it, because I also like when guys who are known for comedy, just purely comedy, they take different ventures and they start doing different things. And they're obviously fans of this particular genre. Like Schnepp was saying, when you look at Preacher and things that they've done. So I want to see what they do, how they transfer it over. And again, to echo what Schnepp was saying, to go into the really big budget to see how they're going to just, they tell very good stories. And I'd like to see them tell this particular story.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this as well. The hook for me with this is just the fact that we're going to get edgy, bloody, gory kind of material, because clearly we have a lot of superhero properties out there, and yes, we do have R-rated ones like Deadpool and Logan, which are pretty damn violent. This seems like it would have a much different tone than that. I don't know if I'm correct, the source material, but it's like I look at this and I picture like the darkness of a Preacher, the darkness of an Outcast, and that's kind of what I want to see on the big screen. Is it similar?
Yes and no. It also has it's got a lot of lighthearted elements to it. It's definitely, their main character is kind of almost a Peter Parker-y type character. So it goes back and forth. That's what's so great about Invincible. It really rides that line. It's Robert Kirkman from Walking Dead. It's unexpected when this first came out. People were like, "Oh, he's doing this different thing," and it's a really great series.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the mixture that I'm going to want. Now I just actually have to find time to read it. Jeremy, what do you think?
You know what the biggest selling point for this is? The reason I'll buy it is because Schnepp bought it. Like, so I was looking at it, I was like, hey, who doesn't know anything about this? Me. What do you think, Schnepp? You buy it? Great. That's fantastic. I'll take your word for it. I think it is great when because I heard Seth Rogen's attached to it. I'm like, is it a funny comic book? Is it not? And so from you talking about the description, I didn't know Rogen had anything to do with Preacher.
Yeah.
Him and
yeah.
Goldberg
No
are
idea
they're
that.
producing
I had
it. They
no
directed
idea.
the first episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're producing the whole
so
series.
it's good to see Seth Rogen kind of step out and be like, oh, I can do other stuff, by the way. I don't just do the same thing over and over and over again. That does open him up to getting projects like this, which is why it's good for someone to do that. So, I mean, if all the pieces are collecting and coming together like that, yeah, I'd love to see a superhero story that's not the conventional superhero story, written by the guy who did Walking Dead and one of the directors of Preacher. So this is all very fascinating to me, but I'm glad it's happening because it's not just, you're not locked into, all right, superhero movie, the same thing there, same thing there, same thing there. It's broadening. It's actually becoming its own genre with subgenres in it.
The other point, too, I think, regards to Kirkman, is that I think a lot of people from talking about Walking Dead, what I've seen to be the biggest issue with Walking Dead is once they started adding so many episodes and them kind of just prolonging the season for a while until either the premiere delivers and then the finale delivers, but in between there's just kind of let's get there.
Right.
The first season of Walking Dead was incredible because there was a lot of stuff from the comics put into one season, and this could be the same exact thing. One movie, putting all the best stuff together, the best writing from Kirkman. So I think we could be in good shape.
Wait, that's actually a good question, Schnepp. So do you think that the format of how this is written as is better suited for the feature film format than a TV adaptation?
Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, for myself, that they announce Invincible, I'm expecting to see at least 3 movies because the way the structure of the first 24 issues are, it's a really good story structure, and there's a lot of what, like, oh my god, like there's a lot of moments in this series that are great and original. And it's really hard nowadays to do an original superhero series. I mean, so there's elements taken from all these different aspects of other comic books, i.e. Miracle Man or Irredeemable. There's all these intergalactic, betrayals, all these kinds of things that you don't expect to see in a series like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they adapt it.
I can't imagine Universal pursuing this and not having franchise in mind, because clearly they looked at things like Logan and Deadpool and they're like, oh, we want R-rated superhero stuff too. So I would imagine that they're kind of planning to turn this into a big thing for themselves.
This could be very easily R-rated. In fact, I would hope that it is
I bet you
R-rated.
it is,
I mean,
for sure.
because pick up a copy of Invincible before it becomes like $1,000. Now's your chance, sweaties. Get a copy right now.
Peter, you want to see him go in there? How do you want to see him? What do you want to see him do?
I don't want to see a little violence. I want to see a face get smashed open. I want to see a pop lip.
I want to see a guy go in there and go, hey, what the fuck? You
Yeah,
know, hey,
I
like
wanna see-
Rappaport. You know, you do this, you do that. You say, hey, what are you going to do? You cynical fart?
Rappaport doesn't even read comics, but he's going to be like, yo, let me get can I get in this movie? Let me cast in this movie.
Go get the sausages. Let's get in the car.
All right, let's get out of here.
This is what happens when John's not here. They think they can get away with this, and they can, because I find it funny.
Perri Nemiroff getting all weird about it.
Long Island girl giving us the shit. Come on.
I can't believe this Long Island girl. Go back to Jersey.
Okay. Ashley, help me. What's next?
I'll save you. While the scripts for the 4 Avatar sequels promised by director James Cameron have been in development for years, the first sequel was originally set to debut in December until Cameron revealed they would need more time to prep visual effects. Now it looks as though it's finally ready to begin rolling cameras, at least according to Sigourney Weaver. Speaking to THR at the recent screening of her latest, The Assignment, Weaver said, We're starting training, and we're starting, I probably can't say anything. We will be actually shooting it by the fall. I'm telling you, these scripts are so amazing. I'm not worried about disappointing fans at all. We're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Jeremy, buy or sell Avatar 2 finally beginning filming this fall?
There's a big part of me that wants to sell it, because I won't believe Avatar 2 is happening until I'm sitting in the theater 1 minute before it starts, and then if it's 2 minutes late, I'm gonna be like, I knew it. It's not real. It's not actually happening. I do want to buy it in the sense that fall's about, what is it? It's months upon months. It's like, what, 9 months? All right, I'm going to do math for a second. Hold on. Yeah, it's like 7. It's over half a year away. So I feel like by that time, they're probably going to start shooting it. So I want to buy it because is it possible we're there? Is it possible they're actually going to film Avatar 2? Have we hit that it's an epitaph, my friends. This is a day. It'll be a day long remembered.
Yeah.
The day we actually hear a camera is rolling on Avatar 2. I'll buy it because I feel like that's enough time. If I heard they were doing it this summer, I'd be like, no, I'd sell it. But fall, sure, I'll buy it. Really tentatively.
I actually would go the exact opposite. If she had said we're starting to shoot this summer, I think I would buy it. The fact that it's so far away, I feel like that's
Far enough to push again.
It's so much time for them to be like, well, a little longer, and then we're going to do it. And also, I love Sigourney Weaver to death, but she is not the chief producer or director or anything of this film, and she is given us quotes about the future of the Avatar series. She's given us quotes about the Alien movie from Neil Blomkamp that never happened. And I'm not faulting her for speaking out about it. I'm sure this is what she was told, and she's just reiterating something. But the point is, she doesn't know the hardcore plan, so I'm not going to take this and run with it yet. And also, I'm selling this because I don't care. I don't think there's a big property franchise out there right now that I could care any less about than Avatar. And I liked Avatar. I think it's a good movie, but I was not bowled over by it like many other people were out there.
Right.
And at this point, so many years later, I kind of don't care to return to the world. Maybe I will care once I start seeing promotional material or hear a story hook that really excites me. You look like you're going to laugh at me.
I'm not going to laugh at you because you and I had a conversation the other day, and I'm only doing this to you because we laughed about
What
it.
did I say?
It's could not care less. Not could care less.
I said could not. I
No, you
could
said
not
could
care.
ca-
No
you-
way.
I'm pretty sure you said, I
someone
could care
check
less.
that. I
I'm
could
pretty
not
sure.
care less. No way.
Not was not in there, my love. All right, so I am also going to buy it. Like Jeremy, I think it's definitely going to happen, and I think that there's only so long before look, James Cameron. I have also said this. I will not doubt James Cameron. Now, I'm not saying I agree with you guys. I think it's very dangerous. I think people in general with Avatar, it came out, it did this crazy thing that no movie is going to be able to do, like this unknown property. It comes out and it's the #1 movie of all time worldwide. That's not going to happen with the sequels. I mean, but again, I don't want to doubt James Cameron, but as far as getting it done, yeah, I think they're going to start. Now, whether or not Sigourney Weaver should be the authority on it, who knows? But I just think the conversations are happening. There's a lot invested in it. It's not just some first-time director. It's James Cameron. So I feel that it's going to happen, and I believe that she is correct.
Step.
So actors love to talk. You know what I mean? It's like if they haven't started shooting yet, they want to talk about the thing that they're going to be shooting, whether it's tomorrow or next month or next year. So you can't really fault Sigourney Weaver for talking about Alien 5 because obviously she wanted to make that. Just like she can't wait to start shooting either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these sequels. I buy this because I know that James Cameron is working his ass off to bring us brand new technology that we've never seen before, not only in 3D, but in storytelling. I'm looking forward to this on so many different multiple fronts. And I know that everyone who's involved in these Avatar movies is really breaking new ground. I know, from people who've been visiting certain things and seeing certain things that have never even been done before in cinema. So, I mean, they're breaking new ground on so many levels that it's even hard to talk about it. It's like you're just gonna have to wait and see. And I really truly feel like I totally trust James Cameron on all of his movies pretty much. I mean, there might have been 1 or 2 here that were a little more or less hit or miss for me, but I think what he's trying to do with Avatar, I'm 100% behind. So it doesn't matter to me how long it takes. I think once they actually start hitting, everyone's gonna flock out and see them.
So if you guys had to put money on it right now, is it going into production later this year, or is it going to get pushed?
Well, but the good news
it's
is
in production. Call it pre-production.
Yeah. And the good news with Avatar 2 is that Aronofsky's Jennifer Lawrence movie is a horror film.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, Kristian. Amazing. You
Thank
know
you.
what? That's the trick right there. Beat the comment section to it, my friend.
Yeah.
Just let everybody know.
All right. I think that's
It
great.
is a horror film.
Hey,
Just let everybody
quickly
know.
go to Dumbo and get rid of that mistake.
No. Well, let's kind of cherish this for at least a moment.
Aronofsky's Jennifer
'Cause
Lawrence
I
movie.
like that. I like
Petey,
that.
what did you
If you had
give
to
the
put money on it.
sidebar? It's drunk.
Oh, I think the sidebar really is in love with that blue chick, Jennifer Lawrence, not the Avatar Navis. You know what I'm
needs
saying?
something to eat because it's putting up that it's going to be a horror film. It's a blue thing. It's Avatar. Get
Avatar
it together,
2.
you putz.
Avatar 2 subtitled Mother, an Aronofsky adventure.
Hey.
That's right. Go back to Pandora. If I had to put money on it, Perry,
Oh, you're playing my game now. Thanks.
I go right back to Perri. I would say I have to go on the track record. I buy that it's going into filming this fall. If I had to put money on it, I'd be like, I'm not putting money on it, but I buy it for free. So that's how I see it.
Parry me forever, but I'm betting against you. It's not going to happen. What do you think?
No, I'm saying like I would not
No?
put money on it.
Oh, you would not
I would
put
not
money on
put
it.
money on it. I would not
You
put
would,
money
you would
on
not
it.
put money on it. You could not care less about Avatar.
There you go.
Hey,
I'm
could
not
not.
saying
Just had to
that.
do it.
You're
Yeah.
putting
Clear
words in
that
my
out.
mouth.
I could care a lot, and I do care a lot. I think it's happening. They're going to be filming. Sigourney Weaver's going to be in some brand new technology.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, what's our next story?
According to Variety, Michael Keaton is in negotiations to play the villain in the live-action Dumbo movie for Disney. The film would mark a reunion with Tim Burton, their first project together since 1992's Batman Returns. If the deal closes, Keaton would play the man who buys the circus from Danny DeVito's character in order to exploit the baby elephant with the giant ears. Transformers: Age of Extinction writer Aaron Kruger penned the script that already has Colin Farrell in talks to star alongside Ava Green and DeVito. A release date still hasn't been determined. Perry, buy or sell Michael Keaton as the villain in Dumbo?
I'm stressed about this because I have to buy it because I'll buy Michael Keaton getting cast in anything. And I want to sell it because I love Tim Burton to death. I'll watch anything he does. I love his work. I don't like Alice in Wonderland, and I keep looking at this Dumbo movie like it's going to be that version of Dumbo. It's a very strange fit for me, and I can't quite wrap my head around. Also especially because we're getting these things like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, and my mind is so in line with what they're doing, and that feels so right to me. And then I just keep picturing, characters with like crazy hair and makeup and big CG effects. I don't know. This just seems like a very dangerous pairing, and it doesn't matter how many great big names he attaches to this cast. I mean, really, he could pick my favorite actor and actress out there, and it's kind of not going to change how I feel about the potential of a Tim Burton directed Dumbo movie.
oh, hey, you guys see that flying elephant over there? Yeah, I think Michael Keaton added in anything is good, but I'm just gonna sell it because I don't care about a Dumbo live action movie for a lot of the things that Perry's saying. I think what the Disney adaptations have done so well, whether it's Beauty and the Beast or Cinderella, Jungle Book, is staying true to what the animated ones, the good ones that have worked. The ones that didn't really work, Maleficent and Alice in Wonderland, even though financially successful, they really went off course. And I can't see Tim Burton staying on course to what the original was. They have to add stuff because the difference with Jungle Book with the talking animals, there's no talking animals in this. You're going to have Michael Keaton doing his thing, which is great, but it's going to be a lot of the weird Tim Burton stuff. I don't know if the styles mix unless they kind of throw it to like a Big Fish type of shooting, which could be interesting if they do it. If he goes towards the Big Fish and not as crazy as what you're talking about, because that's what he's been doing lately.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still going to sell it for now.
No, that's a good point. Jeremy, what do you think?
I agree. I love Michael Keaton. I'd love for him to come in there and be like, I ain't seen an elephant fly. Okay,
Right.
like just the best ever. And his comeback, like Colin Farrell, is one of the best comebacks that I've seen happen. One of the more deserving comebacks that I've seen happen. But yeah, I hear Tim Burton and writer of Transformers. I'm like, I'm out, dude. I'm done. So I love you, Michael Keaton. You could only add to the movie that I'm really apprehensive about. So sell.
I'm going to buy this as long as they get Michelle Pfeiffer, because you got Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, and Michelle Pfeiffer. You'd have Batman Returns, the entire cast, directed by Tim Burton. I'm going to buy this.
For Walken, too. You got to bring him in.
I'm pretty sure he's in there already.
Guy can fly.
I think, the reason I've been selling the Dumbo version is because of the writer, Aaron Kruger. He's a horrible writer. Every one of his screenplays is just bad and flat, but yet he keeps working. He's a producer, whatever. I think he's probably getting rewritten, and they're going to change a lot of it. And I trust in Tim Burton, especially with this kind of material. This is when he gets this kind of Edward Scissorhands this kind of material that he really thrives in. And I think casting Michael Keaton and getting Danny DeVito is really like good news for Dumbo. I don't know what kind of Dumbo it's going to be, but I'm still very interested in seeing it.
Just to not completely throw poor Aaron Kruger under the bus, because I don't think he's the best writer either, given his track record. He did write The Ring, though. So I keep going back to that and thinking, well, that's one.
He wrote a remake.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey.
There's still an art and a craft to that,
kidding.
though.
I'm kidding.
All right, let's move on to our next one, Ashley. What do we got?
A new trailer has been released for the found footage UFO abduction film entitled Phoenix Forgotten. The movie is produced by Ridley Scott along with Maze Runner producer Wes Ball and is based in part on the true story of the Phoenix Lights, one of the most widely reported UFO sightings in American history. The story centers on 3 teens who spot the UFO and go missing as they attempt to find out more about it. Phoenix Forgotten arrives in theaters on April 21st, 2017. Kristian, buy or sell the trailer for Phoenix Forgotten.
Oh. Uh-oh. It was bound to happen, guys. And I had a feeling it was coming here. Uh-oh.
I'll buy the first 5 seconds. I'll buy the beginning of it because it was a little interesting. I like the way they tied it all together with the real footage. And then it's just like, and we're going to try to do what the last Blair Witch didn't really do, but we probably won't do it either because it's the same shit. Dead dogs. I'm going to sell it. I don't care.
Yeah. Part of me wants to buy it just because I like this kind of stuff. Even if it doesn't look good and even if it doesn't look innovative, I do want to see it.
Sorry, I'm looking at it and all I can think is clean your face.
Get a washcloth already.
Picture of a human I've ever seen in my
It's
life.
like, to quote my buddy Sebastian Maniscalco, it's like, use a leaf.
Yeah.
Clean your face.
For better or worse, that kind of thumbnail, though, is going to catch eyes. This trailer was not good, and I'll agree with you. I liked the first couple of seconds when I'm like, ooh, because even though found footage seems like it's done to death, I don't think we've seen anything quite like this style of found footage. Like, obviously, you can compare it to Blair Witch, because that is found footage as well. But this feels a little different than that. This kind of, it's got that old school feel where you're actually walking around with a shaky cam. And I was liking the interaction with the characters behind the scenes as they were talking about it at the beginning. Then all of a sudden, when things go crazy, I'm like, wow, this does look exactly like Blair Witch. Do I really need this movie? Probably not. then again, I'm going to see it anyway. Schnepp, are you seeing it?
Giant pile of garbage. Hell no. I'm not going to. Running around, it's instead of a bundle of sticks, you got some rocks. Ooh, look, some circular rocks on the ground. So dumb. In fact, by mistake, I watched the Phoenix Incident, which is it's on Netflix right now. It's based on the same exact thing, 1997. It says some guys on a dirt bike like, hey, what's going on? Look, there's the Phoenix Lights. Exact same footage. Look, the Phoenix Lights. Exact same people. Let's go and find out what's happening. 3 kids in a camera with cameras. Let's go out into the woods. Boogaboo. It's so stupid and boring and lame that I wish they made 7 of these movies so I don't see any of them.
Are you going to be as intense about it?
Oh, dude, 90s Jeremy's really pumped. I loved UFOs, X-Files, all that nonsense. There was this made-for-TV movie when I was in high school. It was basically the same thing, like, ooh, look, the woods. But it was I mean, the internet was around, but there was no social media. So when it was pitched like, these people disappeared, and here are the tapes we found, like Blair Witch, everyone's like, oh, are you serious? So I watched it. Aliens, like, abduct this family. It was just like this. I'm more interested than these curmudgeons here, because what can I say? I'll take me the pear-head aliens any day. Found footage. It's not magic. It's not a witch. It's technology, Perry. It's anti-gravity technology from the 90s. And aliens, fuck yeah.
Jeez. Well, now that we have an F-bomb, let's move on.
Oh, we had one a while ago.
We did, yeah.
I'll buy that thumbnail, too. That was rad.
Yeah.
That's the worst day
A
ever.
little scratchily.
Use Noxzema.
Use your sleeve to wipe off the wetness on your face.
Your face is disgusting.
Your face is full of weird creams.
Clearly, you guys are going to be the ones to survive a found footage horror movie. You got the key right there. So a little later
Use
on
the
in
camera
the show,
to look at your face.
You just broke the camera with your face.
Your cream-filled wet face has broken all the cameras.
We're
listening,
looking. There's
Carrie.
aliens that just ruined your face.
The camera is part of the
It's just gonna
alien.
Keep going. I don't know what we're going to do.
It's not stopping.
Got a shit rat face. You know what I mean?
Hey.
If you have some Twitter questions later in the show for Petey Peppers and Tony Ravioli, you can send it on in to @Collider Video on Twitter. Wendy's going to pick some out. We also have some plugs to share for you right now before we roll into Mailbag. Today, it's Collider Nightmares Day. Finally, we are so excited to be back. We're monthly. I think you're really going to like the new format, so keep an eye out for that
2
coming
p.m.
soon.
2 p.m. Yep, 2 p.m. PST.
It's 2 p.m.
Watch
so
it.
watch it, yeah. And we also have new heroes up and running from yesterday. There's also a big Schmodown matchup right now between this guy right here and Andy Signor. Then we have our Rogue One commentary up. I'm sure a lot of you have bought that Blu-ray, so you're going to want to watch that. And then, as always, we have Awesome Tacular that came out on Friday with this guy right here. It's a lot of fun. You should probably watch that. You can find the link to that in the description section of this episode of Movie Talk. So with that, let's go on over to Mailbag. Ashley, what's the question today?
Rocky Drago writes, Greetings, Collider Crew. Greetings, Collider Crew. It's no secret that Neil Blomkamp is at a low point in his career coming off Misfire Chappie, but also his Alien sequel is now pretty much dead. So what do you think are the possibilities of him doing a District 9 sequel to save his career? Bigger question, is his career in need of saving? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
That's a really sad question. And I don't care how much crap I get for it. I like Chappie. I like Chappie a lot. I have a Chappie coffee table book. Bye, Kristian. Bye.
Chappie! Chappie!
I understand that's not a perfect movie. It's far from it. It's got many story flaws, but I really like the ideas. I like the look of the robot. I like some of the character interactions. And I think that is not a career killer of a movie like everybody makes it out to be. I don't think his career needs saving, but definitely the way that the whole Alien franchise panned out for him, I don't think it's his fault, but it made him look bad because the way that we perceive it without knowing exactly what kind of negotiations went on behind the scenes, it was like Neil Blomkamp just walking around being like, I'm making Alien concept art. I'm going to make an Alien movie. And then Ridley Scott steps in, he's like, nope, that's mine. Bye. And he just kind of got kicked to the curb. So I don't think his career needs saving. It's just that he's in a slightly negative light right now. And I just want that District 9 sequel. I don't know if that's going to be the key to making everybody think positively about his track record, but I think we do need the District 9 sequel.
I never realized that Stephen Dorff and Walter White had a kid. Look at that guy. I mean, it looks just like him. I am actually, I don't think that his career is dead. But I mean, sorry, Perry, I respect the opinion, but Chappie stinks. That movie stinks. And it's really not, but a lot of the stuff that Blomkamp did, though, some of the action in that movie that dude can shoot action. I mean, from that and Elysium and everything that he does, like he can shoot action. I want to see him doing something else. I think that what happened with District 9, he got that movie, it was super successful. It's a great movie, but it was because he a lot of times this happens. A guy directs his own thing, and then they give him another one to do, and the second one's okay, and then the third one stinks. It's like, now get something else. And he was going to do that with Alien. Get something else that's not yours, that's not written. Let's see what he does. That's what I want to see him do. I don't want to see him do a District 9 sequel. I want to see it selfishly, but I don't think that's the one to do next. I think for him, he's got to do something bigger. He's got to do a studio film. He's got to show like what else he can do that's not his stuff. And I think that when he does that, he's a very talented director. He really is. He wasn't a one-hit wonder. The dude has the goods. It's just he's got to do something else besides writing his own stuff right now. I'm not saying don't go back to that, but right now do another project.
It's so interesting that you say that because I feel like normally I veer towards a director having more creative control, but I can kind of understand why you would want him to go in that direction.
It's just that it's not working right now.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. And it's kind of like the same type of stuff over and over. Maybe it would force him to step away from that. What do you guys think? I
would disagree with you both. I think he should take a pay cut so that the risk is not as big. Like, I think Elysium was quite an expensive film, and then so is Chappie, quite an expensive film with a lot of special effects. And I know that he had a lot of issues with the actors from D. Antwoord in Chappie, and that led to a lot of issues and problems in the production of it, in the post-production of it, in all of the production of it. So I think he's a super talented director. I think he's got a lot of great ideas. I like his ideas, his original science fiction ideas, and I want to see more of those. I don't want to see him adapting anyone else's stories or things like that, but I would like to see him go back to a lower budget, even a smaller budget than District 9, and make an original science fiction film without any of those kind of things that you have to do to make a bigger budget film. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next. I think he got shafted with Alien 5. So, I'd like to see him, and that would have been a big budget thing like you're talking about, Kristian. It would have been something that could showcase his ability to direct. Since that didn't happen, I think he should go the other way and make like a $5 million cool, like 5-person science fiction film or something.
And you think
I'd like
he should
to see
stay in the sci-fi bubble?
Most
Because like
definitely.
that is what he's known for.
I mean,
That's his strength.
He's good at that
That's
stuff
his
for
thing.
sure. He was supposed to do Halo. I still would have liked to seen
know.
a Halo movie directed by him and produced by Peter
He
Jackson.
would have done, if you go and look online and see the Halo 3 commercials, that's what the Halo movie would have looked like, because he was a year after the Halo movie fell apart, he was able to make these commercials, and they're fantastic. So I think he's a great director.
What you got?
Yeah, if you look at Guy Ritchie and M. Night Shyamalan, I prefer their lower budget stuff. So I'd probably say lower budget. I mean, Guy Ritchie is successful with his higher budget stuff, I believe. With Sherlock Holmes was successful, wasn't it?
The first one.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
one.
The first
Yeah.
one. The second one.
Some of it's
Okay,
not as
so
creepy.
I mean, so he's playing with the big boys, but I still prefer like Snatch and Lock, Stock 2, Smoking Barrels over his big budget stuff. But I'm glad that Shyamalan went back and was like, hey, let me narrow it down. It totally worked for him. So if something like that is what he needs, totally. But I agree, stay in sci-fi because it's a nice wheelhouse for him.
All right. Well, thank you for sending in that question. If you want one of your questions answered right here on the show, all you got to do is email it on over to collidervideo@gmail.com. We'll check it out, and if we like it, we'll answer it right here, or we'll answer it on our mailbag shows over the weekend. All right. It's Twitter time. Wendy, what do we have first?
The first one comes from James Thomas Welsh, who writes, Creed 2 is meant to be coming out in November. Since there has been no news for a while, will it get pushed to 2018?
Is it still on the calendar for November?
Creed 2.
Creed 2?
Oh no, they haven't talked about it at all. And we brought it up the other day with Stallone, with that silly ass Expendables 4. Right. I hope that, because remember, he wasn't sure if he was going to come back, and Ryan Coogler, I think that's what's happening. I think that they really want Ryan Coogler to come back, and he's got Black Panther that he's doing right now, so maybe they're holding it back. I wouldn't be surprised, because Michael B. Jordan also in Black Panther.
Sure.
They're probably having conversations about it on set. And those guys are really close, obviously, with that and Fruitvale Station. So I bet that Coogler is going to wind up coming back to Creed 2, but I bet you it's pushed.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of we haven't reported on it on Collider.com in a very long time, but last year there was a report that said when it was announced that it was coming in November of 2017, it said it might lose director Ryan Coogler. So
Right.
I don't know if that's the route they're going to take.
It was
anymore.
coming in 2017? Was it supposed to be released?
Oh, this was the story that broke in January 2016 that it said it could hit theaters in November 2017, but it might lose director Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler,
Yeah, we know
which
that's not happening.
Lost
Yeah.
is already doing Black Panther
well,
with Michael B. Jordan.
he's got his hands full.
Yeah.
We are in a scenario where Avatar 2 might start filming before Creed 2. I think my mind just got blown.
It's true.
I would actually be surprised.
Yeah.
I think I would actually place my money on Creed 2 shooting before Avatar.
Really?
No way.
Okay, wait, that's a terrible
You're
bet.
gonna
I
lose
take that
money,
bet.
Perri.
I'm never
Yeah.
doing it, but I would find it very funny if
Will
that
you wear a
happened.
Predator costume if you lose the whole show?
I think I would look better in that Predator
Alice.
costume than Alice did. That I'm pretty sure of. All right, Wendy, what's our next question?
This one comes from Connor O'Leary, who writes, do you think with the Predator and Alien Covenant, we could see AVP with popularity of shared universe?
Yeah, I hope not.
No.
Yeah, that stigma is just not going away. We tried it. Keep them. I know shared universes are a big thing right now, but I would rather they compartmentalize and keep to their own.
I totally agree. I think that right now let's get the franchises back on track, which they're trying to do anyway. You know, obviously we just talked about Covenant, and now we're going to be getting Shane Black's Predator movie. Let's worry about those first before we start mixing and matching. And I hope it doesn't happen. Cool video game, but that's all we need.
Yeah.
Reread the comic books. That's all you really need.
Yeah, that would upset me quite a bit if they announced that anytime soon. Because if we've learned anything from other cinematic universes that are trying to grow right now, don't announce more things and more complications until you have moviegoers on board, because it's just gonna raise a lot of doubt and turn what could be a great situation into a mess before it even deserves that kind of feeling. So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. Wendy, what do we have next?
This one comes from Mad Eye Studio, who writes, howdy.
Hi.
Netflix just announced that instead of a 5-star rating system, they'll have thumbs. Thoughts?
I don't like ratings, period.
Siskel and Ebert, thumb up, thumb down, stars. It doesn't really matter.
YouTube does that too. But I prefer the star system. It made me feel old school. It kind of related it back to movies.
And
sure.
also, you know, the good thing about the star system is something can have 1 star and you're like, I'm definitely not watching that.
Right.
Or something can have 3 stars and be like, some people liked it, some people didn't. I might like it. Or
Yeah.
it makes you more willing to take a chance. A thumbs down is just straight up, it sucks.
Right.
A thumbs up is like, it must be amazing. And there's no middle ground.
I didn't fall asleep should be an option. Just right
Or
there.
what about just a hand like this, like flatlining?
Right.
Or- I don't even know what that
Just some
would
guy
be.
going like this. You realize it.
Yeah,
That's
good.
how I want
Teddy
my
Long.
rating scale: a thumbs up, a thumbs down,
Or
and then this.
Wavo.
That's funny. That reminds me of like this.
Shilling.
That's a blooper.
This is awkward.
It looks like a weird alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that thing.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the alien thing in the Faculty. What do we do?
Because I was waiting for Ashley to say something. She held herself and then
You got
and then
something?
and
Do you
then I
want me to
just
say it now?
You got something, Mother? What's up?
No.
You didn't say swing or anything like that? What's it called?
and this show brought to you by Pepsi.
Well, back to the rating systems, though. I think this like just highlights the problem with ratings. Period. It's like whether you have
Yeah.
stars, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't really care. It just comes down to whether or not the
Right.
users on Netflix understand that, you know, thumbs up doesn't mean everyone's giving it a 5 out of 5 in
Right.
their own mind. And it's the same thing with the star system, just understanding that, you know, everyone can make their own opinion, and depending on where that falls doesn't necessarily like define what the movie is. It's just understanding what the rating
It
system
does
is more than
simplify it a little
anything.
bit more, though. It makes it dumber,
course.
unfortunately.
Well-
And I don't like the dumbification of our entire society where it's like, either I like it or I don't. It's like, give me a choice. 2 stars,
Right.
3
You
stars.
get really
4
excited
stars.
and go, it's decent.
Yeah, exactly. I hated it. You know, or whatever.
So this actually should be the rating system.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to yell, it's decent.
Right. That's it.
I love
Right.
that.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Didn't love it either.
Who are you? Why are you in my house?
Where am I?
Got any eggs?
And done. Wendy, what's our next Twitter question?
Well, this one comes from Jay Patel, who writes, who chooses the clips and edits Collider bloopers? I feel like they're going to have their work cut out for them this week.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody picks them all.
So Cody over there,
Yeah.
he keeps an eye on all the bloopers and he sends them to me, and then I go through them and I deem what's funny and what's not. No, I'm just kidding. I pretty much use every single blooper he sends me.
Right.
Just certain funny bits don't fit in that kind of style of cutting. Then that whole list goes over to Studio B, where the editors over there cut it together and make it that wonderful blooper reel you guys know and love.
Well, I'm going to be honest. That's absolutely false, everything she just said. We hired a guy. His name's Earl. He sits in the back on a stool. And we used to say to him, he peeks his head out. He goes, that was particularly funny. Put that in there. And he was like, that was funny, too. He goes, no, fuck you. I'm not putting it in there. That's Earl.
Yeah, he uses a thumbs up, thumbs down rating system for bloopers. He's
Right.
like,
Earl, was that funny? It's decent. Now leave me alone. I'm drinking my latte.
Cody. Cody, ready? Right here.
The show is awesome.
Make that sound while the camera's on this.
Earl, just make the cut, you prick.
Yeah. I've got nothing to add to that. Wendy, please give me another Twitter question now.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
No,
Are you guys okay?
Brian Cruz writes, "Why do we get so few ancient war films like 300 and Troy? We haven't had a good one in years."
That's actually really true. We have
Yeah.
not. Bringing it on course, we have not had a good sword and sandals movie epic in years.
Well, we did have Gods of Egypt. Oh.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, I forgot about that already.
People are writing hi Earl in the chat.
Earl, aren't you proud of yourself?
I love Earl. He's so cool.
He's a good guy.
He's got a great
But
hairline.
I think we probably have less of those movies just because they're one heck of an undertaking. You can't really make a swords and sandals type movie without investing a crazy amount of money into something like that.
Right.
So I feel like that's why we get less of them, but it really has been a long time since we've gotten a really good one.
Game of Thrones has got that on lock
Yeah.
on
Right.
HBO, which is like a series now where people are like, why would I go see a one-off when I can rock that series?
I
Yes,
feel like
sure.
those kinds of period pieces are probably, you could find a lot more of them on TV than you can in film
Vikings
right now.
is another
Yeah,
incredible
exactly.
series. Yeah, there's a lot of series.
They're doing it a lot better on television
Yeah.
for sure. I watched Gladiator the other night and I was like, they just don't do this
Right.
as well as they used to. I think it'll happen again. I mean, there's been a lot of bombs though, the Pompeii and a couple other things. So
Pompeii was like one of the
Sure.
first things that came to my
Ben
mind.
Yeah, it's an
Hur.
Earl
Ben
special.
Hur is
Well,
your
Ben-Hur,
sword and
yeah.
sandals bomb of the year last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Ben-Hur wasn't that terrible.
it was
It
pretty
made
awful.
like $3.
It
It was awful.
No
It was
one went to
not-
see
no,
it.
Well, no one went.
Yeah.
Definitely,
It was a-
no one went to see it.
It was about as bad as Chappie.
You guys just gonna rub it in, why don't you? I like Chappie. I like Chappie more than I like that Ben-Hur. All right, Wendy, what's our next Twitter question?
Alex Gregory Reed writes, "What event/panel at Celebration are you most excited for?
Ooh.
Ooh,
For those
Schmodown.
lucky ducks
Yeah.
that get to go."
Yeah, the movie trivia Schmodown. Yeah, we're gonna have Sam Witwer, Campia, and Ken Knapsack. That's how you plug, right, Earl? I actually no. It's Last Jedi. I mean, come on, Last Jedi, and then Rebels season 4 is something I'm very curious to see where they take that. But yeah,
I think actually I'd rank the 40th anniversary as one of the highest.
Great
just
call.
because I feel like that's the place we're gonna. I don't want to make anybody think that we're gonna see something that we then don't, but. I feel like one that's going to be crazy exciting just because of the group of people that we're going to see on the stage there. And I feel like if there's any surprise anywhere, it's going to happen there.
I think you're right. I think George Lucas is going to be there for sure. I think some other things are going to happen. I think you're absolutely right. That first, they're going to open with that ceremony. The 40-year anniversary is going to be pretty interesting.
That's one of those events where, Last Jedi and last year Rogue One, those panels were super exciting, and I'll never forget being there. But the 40th anniversary panel is one you'll never forget for the
Yeah,
rest of
it's
your
true.
life. It's something that people are going to be talking about well beyond Last Jedi and Rogue One, I think. What do you guys got?
Yeah, episode 8 for sure. I'm curious about the EA. EA's going to have a panel there, right? Yeah, I'm curious about that because Amy Hennig, the director of the Uncharted games, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, she was announced to be doing a Star Wars game, and I just don't know what it is yet. I've been curious for about 4 years, so I'd like to see if they drop any information on that. But episode 8 for sure, and the 40th,
Yeah.
because that's going to be an onslaught of just...
Last Jedi for sure, and then I want to see them announce a Netflix series.
Nice.
I want to see Knights of the Old Republic get announced. I feel like there's something that no one's talking about, and there's just going to be a gigantic bomb drop.
We talked about it on Jedi Council. There was a report. Our buddies over at Star Wars Newsnet. They had this. They have this source. This source says that it's very possible that Ewan McGregor could be there to announce an Obi-Wan movie.
Right.
It is also there's rumors that they're going to focus on TV heavily after Episode 9 and take a break from the films for a little bit. They're also saying that Boba Fett is not going to be just a Boba Fett movie and a full-on bounty hunters movie, which I
yeah.
love.
I
if
love
that's
that
the
idea.
case.
That is one of my favorite things from that
So there's a
report.
bunch of rumors that are out there that could happen. I still think that it's most likely to happen at D23, but I'd be welcome to any of those.
I'm also excited for the official Star Wars Celebration store to open because I plan on giving them all of my money. Wendy, what's our next Twitter question?
This one comes from Robert Reynolds, who writes, "How do you tell if CGI isn't finished compared to finished product?"
I think we got that question yesterday,
Oh, did you?
actually. And
Yeah.
it's funny
Skipping.
because we started talking about the Scorpion King, and someone sent us all on Twitter the clip.
Well, it's the Mummy. It's the Mummy 3.
It's the third one. It's the third one, and I've never seen that movie. And wow,
did you see the clip?
If you want to know what unfinished CGI looks like, that is it. It's the most mortifying thing. I understand The Rock wasn't the biggest movie star at that point, but I cannot believe any actor being in that situation and like not having control to say no, don't use my
release
likeness
that,
like that.
yeah.
That is awful because that's really one of the worst things
It's like
I've
a
ever seen.
1982 video game. He's like,
And his face is like it's morphed. It's like a misshaped head.
called bad texture mapping.
Oh, it's terrible.
That was the second Mummy, right? That was the second.
the
Third
one.
Mummy.
Third
I
one.
was very sure it was Mummy 2. The
What?
third one is the one with it was
Cody?
the Dragon King.
2 or 3.
It's 2.
2?
No,
Really?
we had this discussion yesterday. I thought.
I thought it was the Mummy 2.
The Mummy
3.
2 has The Rock as the Scorpion King. That's where he was introduced. I
Really?
swear on my life. I'll put a
2.
gun in my mouth right
It's
now.
2, you're right.
Oh
Alright.
boy,
I'm
let's
totally
not get
gonna
so
believe.
crazy.
I'm totally
Two.
gonna believe these guys.
Worked
I
at a
agree.
movie
Yeah.
theater,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, man.
What?
I hated that. Well, I didn't. Well, first of all, I didn't like the movie, but the lines for the movie theater, it was one of those ones as a projection. So I would come downstairs, I'd see the lines, I'd go right back upstairs before they made me help out about anything. But it was the Mummy 2 was was it called Rise of the Scorpion King?
I've got no clue. I've never
the
seen
Mummy
the
2.
third
The only
one.
thing I remember about
I've only
the
seen-
second Mummy is they had baby mummies. Remember, there were a whole bunch of baby mummies chasing Brendan Fraser.
No, I remember Lobster Scorpion King at
Right,
the end, and
but-
it was not good. So yeah, I mean, whether or not I imagine that was their finished product. They're like, hell yeah, we did a great job. I have no idea.
No,
As
no, they
opposed
were
to-
rushed.
They were rushed.
Yeah,
It
they
was
released
completely
it
rushed?
unfinished, and they were all bummed out about it. That's like a big. It's a big story. Just look it up.
Yeah.
You can read it on
Really?
Cinefex.
That's
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know
it
that.
was like one of these horrible things where we didn't have time, and we were trying to finish it, and we just couldn't. It was rendering so slowly. So
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've talked the Mummy to death between today and yesterday,
Yes. God.
let's get another Twitter question.
This one comes from Kyle Miller, who writes, "How long are your work days at Collider generally? It feels like you're there all damn day."
it never ends.
It kind of does never end though, and it's not just here at the studio. It's oftentimes we'll be here all day during a regular work day, making shows and prepping for future shows and just writing and whatever we're doing. Then we'll go to a screening later in the day. And I don't want to give the impression that I'm complaining about that. That's just the nature of the job. And part of the reason I think that my work days feel really long is because movies are just, whether I was doing it for work or just doing it for pleasure, it's just like a part of my life. When I go home at the end of the day, it's not, oh, work's over, no more movies. No, I just go home and watch movies for fun.
Right. I hang out around 9 o'clock, get here, say what's going on, do my thing, figure it out, watch some internet videos, hit Earl in the head with a bread roll, and then I'm out.
Yep. Got to wake up early. He's usually in the corner sleeping. We're like, get up, Earl. Stop slouching
Right.
off.
You shall not pass.
Well, I think Jeremy and I have it slightly different because we're not full time here. So we like come in, do our thing, and we leave.
Yeah, but I do have a lot of awesome
that's
tacular.
right.
There's a
That's
lot of filming for that, which is unexpectedly a lot of filming. But yeah, between that, my channel, it is a full plate of here's a schedule. So
For those of you guys who have not checked out Awesome Tacular, you should probably do that because the show is something else. Everyone here works on it, and it takes up a good chunk of our time at this point. And
sure.
you like the coolest thing about that is you could really see it on screen. And it doesn't matter whether we're doing like Schnepp's comic book section where we're just talking about comic books, or those bigger sketches that we're doing. You could just see how much work and time and energy everybody puts into it. I mean, I know I'm pretty freaking
Plus-
proud to work on that.
It's a free app. People get all weird about it. It's like you just download. It's a Go90 app. It's like, I'm not going to download an app. It's free. Stop complaining about stuff.
I mean, it is. I mean,
It's
honestly,
free. It takes 3
But
seconds.
not only that, I mean, people have always asked, well, when are you guys going to do like sketches, and when are you guys going to do more stuff? It's all
there.
there, and there's so much. If you want to learn about comic style, the comics, and I've said this many times, between Schnepp and Jeremy, I learned so much from that. It's really entertaining. We go over new Star Wars theories over there too. And what the writers have been doing with the sketches.
Yeah,
have been
Bakuga,
great. Yeah.
Knapsack,
And the
Riley.
games
everybody's
too. What the
writing
writers do
crazy
with that
funny
games,
games
the
segment
gaming,
is
yeah.
something else. And
Go check it
I'll
out.
give a little plug to video games too,
Ooh.
because I mean, you guys know I'm not really too steeped into the video game world right now, except Battlefront, which is the only one I own. But I learn.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but we have a good time there, and we're here to drop knowledge and fun. What can I say?
Well, if that's not the best Awesome
Smooth
Tacular
jazz.
plug
Oh,
I've ever
yeah.
heard. All right, Wendy, how about we take 3 more?
Three
Does that
more?
Sound, does
My
that sound
goodness.
reasonable? I don't know.
God, Earl just fell
3
asleep.
more. All right, this one comes from Saud, who writes,
Salud.
How come, I may have
Salud.
butchered his name, but he really wants to know, how come Hollywood stopped making noir movies? I think it's a fantastic genre and that needs to come back.
Stop making what?
Noir.
Noir.
Oh, yeah.
Just a hard sell. I mean,
Yeah.
they're great, but it's a hard sell. I mean, look, even not that Ghost in the Shell is film noir, but even how that movie alone, even if it was great, a darker movie like that hard to sell. Darker movies in the film noir, it's harder to sell. I think they should be made independently, and I think that they are a great. It is a great genre. I would like to see more of them, but it's not. You're not going to see studios rushing out. Oh, we need to make more film noir.
I think they are made, but they're just not like what typical. Well, the idea of what a film noir, you have to get outside of the 50s and 60s, black and white. They're not made that way anymore. They are noirs that come out every year. One of them came out last year. It's called Hell or High Water. That's a film noir. Now you might argue the point. You could call it a neo-noir. It's a noir film. It's a dark film. It has a dark ending. It's a dark movie throughout. It's a dark storyline. That's what noirs are. So to me, noirs are made every year. You have at least 3 or 4 of them. It depends on how you look at it.
Still holding out for that Untouchables movie. Bring back the Prohibition noir.
Yeah, I'll reiterate what you guys said. It's like a business thing. You know, studios want to sell their movies and make lots of money, and it's just a risk. Not that they can't do it with film noir, but it is a risk. All right, I've been overruled. Wendy, we have one more Twitter question left. Pick a good one.
Okay, this one comes from Subatomic Freak.
Yes.
Who writes, is there a great movie that creeps you out too much that you almost can't watch it? For me, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Massacre 2.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That Bumble. That Bumble is terrifying. He used to freak me out as a kid. I can say that.
to
You're
freak
absolutely
out.
right. The weird, the Yeti creature.
Yeah, the snow monster.
And you know
He was
what
the
freaked
worst.
me out the most about that was that silver and gold creepy guy who's like, hey, come on over
yeah,
here,
right.
Bumbles, and he's doing something under his crotch. Remember that? He's like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Clicking
you can
around.
walk right past him.
Because he ripped out his teeth.
I want to be a dentist.
Oh, yeah. That's Hermie.
yeah, some creepiness.
Yeah, there's some creepy stuff in there for sure. It's but the time machine, the old time machine, the George Powell time machine. The
Right.
Morlocks used to they messed me up. I'm like, they're under my bed. My parents were like, good, all right, go to sleep. You know.
You guys forgot 2 of the easiest ones: Sex in the City 2 and Son-in-Law.
Boy.
Son-in-law's a classic.
I love
Grumpy Old Men 4.
Right.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark used to creep me out when I was a little kid, and then now people watching, they're like, it's not scary at all. So I don't know. It's really hard to tell.
I don't know. I have to bring up Martyrs here just because I don't think that was I think that's a somewhat well-made movie.
It's
like
no. I agree. I wasn't going to bring it up. I almost thought about bringing up Martyrs, but first of all, I don't want to promote it because I don't
Well,
think
yeah.
people should see it because it's such a dark
well,
film.
because that's the only movie really that I can think of that is scary and upsetting to a point with me where I don't ever want to watch it, yet it's weird because I could still recognize it as being like a well-executed movie.
It's really well made. It's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Scary, I don't even know if it is the right word. It's just that it's horrifying.
It's like haunted me though.
Yeah.
Where it goes.
There you go. More kids
haunts
are going to
me.
be watching Martyrs now. Way
clearly
to go, Perri.
I failed. Sorry, guys. And on that really uplifting note, that's the end of Wednesday Movie Talk. That's all we've got for you today. Before we close out the show, I want to thank all the guys in the back. We got Dennis, Adam, Cody, Earl. Thank you guys so much. And Riley, too, who handles all the Movie Talk notes. Thank you. And then everyone here at the table with me. Kristian, where can everyone find you?
In the asylum. But after that, you can find me at Kristian Harloff, Twitter and Instagram. And I will say one thing: there's a YouTube channel called Late to the Party, and they have been doing reaction videos for the Schmodown. I would like to extend an invite to the Late to the Party crew to come watch the free for all. When we do the free for all, there's going to be 35 people. I would like to have the free for all crew. Sure, why not? But you're the Late to the Party crew. Come on out. We want you guys. If you're great fans, and we want you to check it out.
They are awesome. Jeremy, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Jeremy Jones and Twitter and the rest of the internet. My show Go 90, my show Awesome-tacular on Go 90. I really screwed that up, but be there. Nerdy stuff. You'll love it.
Schnepp, can you follow that up?
It's still Wacky Wednesday, kids. Come and find me in a dark corner.
Ashley, help me out. Where can everyone
I'm
find
still
you?
thinking of ooh. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Ashley Mova. Happy Wednesday, guys.
Wow. Wow. All right, you can find me on YouTube at the Movie Couple channel and on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Wendy Lee Zaney.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Perri Nemiroff. Of course, Collider Behind the Scenes. We can hold it together. Collider Behind the Scenes every Saturday. And we also have Nightmares today. Please go check that out. Thank you guys for joining us today. See you soon.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.